Good morning. So it's Wednesday. And the reason that I know that is because yesterday was Tuesday. The reason that I know that is because yesterday was my birthday. So I actually do know the day when it's big days for me, personally. So anyway. Okay. So, I want to do the housekeeping stuff first. This, I feel like, gives Facebook time to know that I'm here because it takes a while for it to register that I'm live. If you want to see the other videos that I do, you can go to my YouTube channel and watch them there. I was talking to a friend of mine the other day. She was taking a poll about some Bible study. She was asking Bible study questions. She's developing a Bible study or something like that, which is really cool. And she was asking me some questions about my habits on YouTube. And she asked me if I watched content on there, and I was like, not really. I generally don't have time to watch content on YouTube. And she just laughed and she said, that's funny. Every single woman that I've talked to has said that they don't watch content on YouTube. And I thought, well, that's telling. Maybe I shouldn't be uploading these there, but I'm going to do it anyways, just because if somebody wants to go back and watch one, at least it'll be there. So anyway, it's uploaded on YouTube. I always sneeze more than once. So if you want to see the other ones, you can go there. I do have a podcast. The link is in my bio for the YouTube, and the link is in my bio for the podcast, so you can see them both there. If you are watching any content anybody creates, I don't say this for me, or just for me, but I say this for any person that you watch content from, anywhere, anytime. Sorry, I'm looking for my stop my sneeze oil, y'all. For some reason I can't find it. It usually is right in front of me. There it is. It is right in front of me. Anyway, so if you are watching content from any creator, anywhere that you see, and you like it, or you appreciate it, or you find value in it, I really, 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 really hope that you will take a few minutes to like it, share it, comment on it, subscribe to it, review it, whatever the things are that you can do in the app that you're watching it, do those things. And then, let those people know that what you bring, what they say to you is valuable. Somebody, for some reason, gosh almighty, and I don't have any water. I should have learned my lesson. For some reason, Robin Williams always jumps to the forefront of my mind when I think about this, because I always felt like he was such a happy-go-lucky person. He was always bringing joy to millions and millions of people around the world. And then, unfortunately, he took his own life. And when he did that, it really made me see that it doesn't matter what people are doing, right? They can bring value to you every single day. They can bring amazing content to you every single day, but you really never know what's going on in their life. So it doesn't matter if you think that hundreds of thousands of people tell somebody that their content is valuable. Your voice is valuable. Okay? So when you tell somebody that they are leaving a mark on you, that is a valuable thing for that person. Okay? And so don't think, well, everybody else tells them I don't need to say anything, because maybe nobody else tells them. And your voice is valuable. And so tell them that they're doing something that brings value to you, okay? All right, okay. So this morning I read Psalm 30, the first part of it. I'd say that these are more like praising the Lord things, which we have talked a lot about. The one that stands out to me in this is, Lord, you brought my soul up from Sheol. You let me live from going down into the pit. And why does that Sheol is like the shadowy world, so it's like hell. And it says that the pit is a metaphor for like being near death. Okay. So something I really want to talk about today, like really want you to hear me say today, is that when you decide, I'm pretty sure we've talked about this a lot, but I feel like maybe there's been a lot of metaphors of walking God's path and the obstacles and the things that you're going to go through while you're doing it. And so I just want to really be very blunt today about some things, because I have this conversation with people when I talk to them about changing their lives and about personal development and things like that. And I feel like we need to have this conversation too. Okay, so when you work when you are ready, when you make the decision, okay, decision's really hard. But when you make the decision, the real, true, this is me, this is what I'm doing decision. And we all know what that's like, right? We all know what that's like, because there are a lot of times that in our lives, we make decisions and we don't really care about them. Like, I make this decision and it doesn't, I'm like, maybe. Right? So maybe like a decision to lose weight. Maybe it's just not really on my radar, but, I'm going to eat better. But I didn't really make the decision, right? And so when I'm talking about making the decision, I am talking about a real, true, bona fide decision within your soul, within your heart, that says, today or right now, I'm deciding to do this thing. This is my day to start doing this thing. And then you start doing it. Like there's no holding you back. You are starting to do it, right? So when you make this decision, and we'll take walking God's path to be that, for whatever that is in your life, things are going to happen. Not good things. I mean, good things, some, yeah. But because you're going to be taking the steps, and God is going to be honoring your movement, and he's going to be walking with you. But the thing about it is, Satan doesn't just give up. He doesn't just say, oh, well, she's made her decision, I think I'm going to back off now. That doesn't happen. And he will go on the attack. He will go on the attack in every place he can that he feels like will throw you the furthest off of the path. What will pull you off the path? That's why I tell you the decision is the hardest part. The part where you make the decision is the part where you say, no matter what happens, come hell or high water, I'm doing it. And it's true, because it will hurt. I want to be very frank with you today. I want you to understand this. I want you to understand that the hell that you have to go through after you make the decision to change your life is normal. Everybody experiences it. And when I talk about that, I don't just mean emotional, mental. I mean, there are forces outside of you, outside of your world, outside in your life. The world outside of you will try to hold you back. Satan will do everything he can. Sickness, death, accidents, hospitals, whatever he knows that is your weakness, right? Whatever he knows that is your weakness, he will use that to his biggest gain. He needs to know that you are serious. Otherwise, he will not back down. And eventually, when you continue to jump over these hurdles, walk through these things that he sends to you, but do not lose your decision. You do not back down on your decision. Eventually, it kind of fades away. Eventually, it's not like he leaves. He's still biding his time. He's still the dog on the leash, right? Satan is a dog on a leash. He can't get off of it, but he can bark really loud. And he can bring you closer and closer and closer. And you get close enough to get bit, right? So he's that dog on the leash waiting for you to get close enough to him to bite you. So he will stay on the prowl. But the more that you show him, no, regardless of this, I'm doing this. Regardless of this, I'm doing this. Regardless of this, I am doing this. Whatever that looks like for you, whatever that is for you, listen. The path that God has for you may not be conventional. It may not be something that you expect. It may not be something that or it probably is not something that you have the skill set for right now. It probably is something that he's going to have to teach you. But see, Satan is going to know how to stop you. He's going to know the innermost things that hurt you. So when I first started, I'll give you my little story of how I look back now and I can see it. See, I didn't know. Nobody warned me that when I decided to do what God was asking me to do, and again and again and again, every time I decided what he was asking me to do, things got harder in my life, right? And so looking back, when I first said, yes, Lord, I will listen. Yes, Lord, this is what I'm going to do. Okay, God, this is what I'm going to do. When I first said that, and I started, and for me, it was network marketing. I mean, yeah, it was hard to have kids, but I mean, I didn't really have a choice in that matter. I did, anyway. I did, but anyway, I didn't at the same time. So you have kids, right? But for network marketing, that was a conscious decision that I made. And when I made it, things started happening. Like, my husband was sick almost every single weekend. Every single week, he'd say to me, my throat hurts. I was like, oh my gosh. And, I was supposed to go do something, whether it was an event, whether it was whatever it was, meet somebody for lunch and talk about oils, whatever it was, right? I was supposed to go do that. And when that happened and he was sick, I had to stay home, right? I had mom guilt too. I was like, oh, well, if he's sick, he can't take care of all these kids, because we had 4 under 4 and I was pregnant with number 5 and all the things, right? And so I couldn't leave. And see, Satan knew that. He knew that I had this horrible mom guilt that said, if my husband isn't feeling well, I'm going to stay home. I can't do anything. And then the thing that I told God that I would do, I can't do. And I was so frustrated. I was so in the throes of my emotions. I was letting him push me back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. But I never wavered, at least on the decision. Because see, the decision is the most important. The most important. If you make the decision to do something, you cannot leave it. If you make the decision to walk with Christ, you cannot leave it. It has to be a true heartfelt decision. And once it is, guys, that's when you don't waver. But know this. Be prepared. This is why I'm telling you this. I need you to be prepared. Because I want you to do what I didn't, which is realize exactly what he is doing. Realize exactly that he is trying to knock you off of the path that you are walking. He's trying to just take you out. It's hard. It is just, I'm talking about, he will mess with marriages. He will mess with this. He will mess with that. Wherever an in is that he can take, he will mess with it. And you know what it takes there? It takes time to shore up your marriage, to shore up your heart, to focus on God, to know that he's just doing this to mess with you. And if there are places where your faith is weak, then those are places where we need to work on it. Like, he's really doing you a huge favor. One, he is helping you shore up your decision. This is the decision that I am making, the thing that I am doing, and I'm doing it right now. Two, if there are places that he is attacking you, like for me, it was motherhood. Oh my gosh, I never thought I was going to be able to ever leave that house again. And I wanted to, but I didn't want to, and it warred inside of me all the time. I don't have that problem now. I don't have it now. But it warred inside of me all the time. Oh my gosh, should I leave? If I leave, my husband's going to be sick. If I don't leave, he's not going to be, he's not going to be able to, I'm going to be here. If I don't leave, I'm here. I never get a break. I never get to have time off. I never get this. I never get that. But it showed me the weakness in my faith in motherhood. And though it still shows it to me, to be honest. I mean, being a mom, being a parent, it's a hard thing. It's one of those things where You love it, but you hate it at the same time, especially in certain parts of it. And so there's never a time where I don't feel weak in parenthood. I'll just tell you that, in motherhood. But I try to shore it up with God every day. And I try to shore it up with affirmations every day. I'm an honest, patient, kind, loving mother who's grateful for her children. And I try to remember to say that when there are times where it's hard. It's a rough day. It's a rough minute. Forget a rough day. It's a rough minute. Because you can have a good day and a bad day all in the same day with motherhood, right? You can have good minutes, good hours, bad hours, doesn't matter. You can go from 0 to 60 in 15 seconds flat. So, what I'm trying to tell you here is be prepared to go to war for your decision. But don't be scared of it. But don't be scared of the war, because the decision that you have made to walk your path with Christ is the most amazing decision you can ever make. And if you can show him every single day that you will show up, that you will put your face out there and say, I am here today, regardless of what happened yesterday, regardless of what happened 15 minutes ago, regardless of the storm that is going on in my life, I am here today. If you can do that, then man, your walk will continue. But see, here's the thing. Let me tell you this. If you started over 1,000,000 times because you're afraid, because of something that has happened, because of exactly what I'm telling you about. Because see, I didn't know, like I said before, I didn't know, right? I didn't know this was a real thing. I didn't know this was going to happen. I didn't know that something was going to try to stop me every time I tried to do anything that was on the path that he asked me to be on. I didn't know that. And if you started over 1,000,000 times, that has given him a lot more fuel. That has given Satan a lot of fuel against you. And you're going to think, why does this happen to me every single time? And you're going to be tired and you're going to be frustrated. But if you truly made the decision to walk the path that God has given you, he is going to protect you. Just like he did Saul. Just like he did David. Not Saul, David. Just like he did David. He is going to protect you. Just like he does for everybody. You walk with him. You show up every single day. You show your face every single day, no matter how hard it is to get out of bed and do it anyway. You show your face because God fights the battle. You are the warrior. And sometimes when I say warrior, you are the prayer warrior. You can't do more than that because everything else is out of your control. All you can do is pray and set the example. That's another thing. When you get up every single day and you show your face, hey Mandy, every single day, you set the example. Good morning. Do you know who you set the example for? Everybody. Everybody that sees you. You think that it's insignificant to get up and show up every day, but and the thoughts happen. Nobody cares if I'm here. Nobody sees me. You're wrong. You are so wrong. Somebody sees you. You don't know it. They don't tell you. That's why I stress in the beginning of these to always tell somebody that they bring value to your life, no matter who it is, no matter if they have thousands and thousands of followers, no matter if they have one follower, no matter if you're the only one. It doesn't matter. Tell them. Because nobody really understands how much power they have in somebody else's life. And when you show up every single day, when you set the example by showing your face, by refusing to lay down, by refusing to stay in bed, even though it looks hard, even though looking outside at what's happening looks hard, you set the example. And you might set the example for the person that you are, maybe that's causing the issue in your life. You know, maybe you have a child that's hurting you. or a child that has gone off of their path and is really, 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 really having a hard time. And that might be causing you heartache, and you might not know how to deal with it. And yet you get up and you face the day anyway. You get up and you face it anyway, because see, God is not asking you to fight their battle. Their battle is their own. It's their own decision. It has no reflection on you as a parent, has no reflection on you as a person, has no reflection on you. It is their own decision every single day to wake up and make the decisions in their life that take them maybe the wrong way. But see, when you get up every day and you show up, you are setting the example for them. Even if you don't think so, even if you don't know it, even if right now they don't see you, it doesn't matter. It can be a cumulative effect. They may not see you every single day, getting up every single time, facing it, facing the world, facing the pain, facing the heartache, facing all of the things, facing the fear. They may not see that right now. But years down the road, maybe, days, hours, minutes later, all of a sudden, it might be their time to wake up. And they might wake up by looking back over your time of commitment, over your time of showing up. And the only reason I use a child is because that's what comes into my mind right now, but this goes for everybody and everything, everywhere. You might not even know the person, but their time of waking up might be right now, and you're the person that they run across. You're the person that God puts in their path because you show up every single day. Even if some days you just show up to be there, and all you can do is pray. All you can do is show your face for Him. That's it. Because you don't have any strength to do anything else. That's fine. All He asks is that we show up and we let Him fight the battle. And see, you make that decision. He gives you that free will every single day. Free will is such a hard thing. Free will is such a huge responsibility because it gives us the means to make a decision every minute of our day. We decide how we feel. Even if you're just sitting in a chair doing nothing, looking around at the wall, we decide in that moment how we're talking to ourselves. What are we saying to ourselves? Are you saying good things? Are you saying bad things? Are you beating yourself down? Are you lifting yourself up? Are you praying? Are you talking to God? Are you having a conversation with Him? What are you doing? Even in the moments, we have a decision. Even the moments when we feel like nothing is happening, we have a decision. How do we deal with them? And that's a huge deal. It brings me back to the decision that I was talking about in the first place. When you make the decision to walk with God, to change your life, to do what He's asking you to do, to get on a path of personal development that brings you closer to Him, that brings you more in line with stepping in who you are meant to be, stepping into who you are meant to be, there will be attacks. And see, I'm not telling you this to worry you. Because for me, when somebody told me finally, I was like, oh crap. But then I can look back and see them and be like, oh yeah. But there will be them. There will be the attacks. They're there. They're there to distract you every single day. And you can fall back into the old excuses of, well, this is just what happens in my life every time I try to do something. Or you can say, no, not this time. This time I continue my walk. This time I continue the path. This time I don't sit down and stop. I don't shy away. I don't run away. This time I move. And that's up to you. But understand, the attacks are there. And I've seen them firsthand in my own life, in my team's lives, in my friends' lives, in my family's lives. All of them run together. They happen every single time I watch somebody make the decision to change their life. And I always warn them because I want them to see them for what they are. And they look different in everybody's life. But you continue to make the decision to show up every single day, and God will fight the battle. He'll fight the battle anyway. But when you show up every single day, you show Him that you have that faith. Even if it's as big as that mustard seed, you have that faith that He is fighting that battle for you every single day. So, I'm going to go. Thanks for being here with me today. Thanks for watching the replay. I hope that you have a wonderful, fantastic Wednesday. And you know what? I'm proud of you.